Journey to Health here with another delicious recipe for you. Today we're making a passionfruit cheesecake. It's actually a vanilla cheesecake and you can use any fruit on the top. I just happen to have some passion fruit and I'm going to be using that as a topping. You begin with some nut meal. I've got some hazelnut meal over here. You can use almond meal or any other nut meal. And I've got adding my butter, which I've melted in the microwave. And I'm just going to mix that through. And then I'm going to put that into my containers. And the cool thing about this recipe is that if you've got somebody to make it for, like a family, you could make it all at once. And then you'll eat it all at once. But if you've only got, maybe just you at home or a couple of people, then what you do is you freeze this into little containers and then you pop them in the freezer, and when you feel like a little mini cheesecake, you just take it out, defrost it, or you could eat it frozen. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this mixture into the bottom of my glasses, and then we'll move on to the next step. Separate 2 eggs, putting the egg white in one bowl and the egg yolk in with the cream cheese. I always use the back of a knife, just makes it a lot easier to ensure that you don't have the shell cracking, and you don't want to get any yolk into that egg white mixture, otherwise you won't get it to beat up nicely. The fat actually stops it from whisking. All right, so if you want to just use your beater and not have to clean it, this is the best way to do it. You start off by beating your egg whites with a pinch of salt, then you beat your cream, and then you start mixing your cream cheese and your egg yolks and your sugar. I'm going to start off with just one, just 3/4 of the sugar. You could even drop it down to half. So just taste it, see what you think. You could always add a little bit more. But basically this recipe started off with 100 mils of sugar, and I'm going to drop it down and just get a taste of what it's going to taste like. And that's the whole thing, is to actually drop that sugar down. So I'm sure it's going to be delicious. Let's go. All right, so as I said, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the sugar. This is actually caster sugar that I've made from brown sugar. So 2 tablespoons of that, and then I'm going to taste it and see how it goes. Over here I've got some vanilla essence, and I've also got some vanilla bean, so that's why it looks a little bit funny. But it's actually the vanilla bean that I've scraped out, so it looks a little bit dark. And now I'm going to cream this, the egg yolks, the sugar and the cream cheese, until it's nice and smooth. So I have a saucepan with a little bit of water in it, and you're going to bring that to a gentle boil. And I know from past experience that this bowl, and you can just test that your bowl fits into the top of that saucepan, and you're just going to start heating this, and slowly but surely you'll see that it begins to dissolve. All right, I'm adding another 50 mils of water because I did double up on the gelatine and it's looking a little bit thick. So you just want to melt that down until you see no more granules. Add the dissolved gelatine to your cheese mixture. You want to add it directly into the beaters, and you want to add it with a steady stream, because that way you're not going to get any little lumps of gelatine. So on goes the beater, and then in a steady stream, you're ready to put this together. Fold in your egg whites gently by lifting the heavier mixture and folding it over. You can use a figure of 8 motion as well, just to get it well blended. And then it's nearly there, so I'm going to add my cream. Once you've gotten rid of all the little bubbles, You add that, you just pour it into your little receptacles over here, and that goes into the fridge. Once that's done and set, I will show you a little bit later how to do the top. "45 minutes later, and these cheesecakes are set. So I put 4 passion fruit and 20 ml of orange juice in here with 15 ml of gelatine and about 20 ml of water. Mix that up and dissolve the gelatine. And now I'm ready to put that onto each little cheesecake. You can use other fruits like strawberries, peaches, anything you have really. Just make a little, cook it up and make a little puree, and then you can use it in the same way. And this is just going to add a burst of flavor and sweetness to this beautiful vanilla cheesecake below.